Hey y'all, welcome back to the Makeup Corner. Today I filmed this navy look for you guys, and I really like doing things like this. It's different, it's out of my comfort zone. I honestly don't wear makeup on a daily basis because, I mean, who has time for that? Not me. There's really not a whole lot to say about it. It's all navy, and I used one of the Dose of Colors. I looked really washed out. I used one of the Dose of Colors EyeDeal Duos and the Lorac Pro 2 palette for my eyes. And for my lips, I have on Desert Suede by Dose of Colors. Everyone knows I have a love affair with Dose of Colors. And I am wearing a t-shirt because it is Beyonce, because I went to her concert and it was absolutely amazing. So everything Beyonce is okay. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a t-shirt if it's got Beyonce on it, okay? Okay. So if you want to see how I did all of this. So anyways, if you want to see how I played with navy eyeshadow today, then just keep watching. Bye y'all. So for starters, I've already primed my eyelid with MAC Pro Longwear Concealer as I usually do. And I'm going into the Lorac Pro 2 palette. Very cool tone palette. I've already taken this buff shade. I don't think it's coming off true to color. Why do my nails look so ratchet? So I'm taking this buff shade, which is almost just like a yellowy undertone shade, and I put it right here along the crease line of my eye because I didn't want to put it all over my eyelid because I would like for that to remain somewhat sticky so that when I go in with the lid color, which is basically a pigment, it's the Dose of Colors EyeDeal Duo, it will add a little bit extra stickiness so that the pigment will adhere to it a little bit better without having to use like a glitter glue. So I've already done that, and now I'm going to go in with a MAC 224, and we're only using a couple of shades, let's see, 4 total shades out of this Lorac Pro 2 palette. And the first one is this cool gray color. So we're gonna be using this cool gray color as the transition, and then you'll see me go in with a deeper gray that'll also be part of the transition and inside of the crease, which is this shade called Charcoal, and then of course this beautiful shade Navy here. So I'm really just going in and just building this color as much as I possibly can. I'm still using this cool gray shade, same brush, but what I'm really focusing on here is this crease area, and I just want this line to look very diffused and blended. It's all a building process, but the more blended it starts out, I feel like the more blended it'll be in the end and the less work throughout that you have to do. But so that's basically what I'm doing, is just building on top. Now I'm going to dip into the Charcoal color, which is just essentially a deeper gray, which is just going to help to build up that crease shade, and like I said, make the transition a little bit more gradient. I'm really actually focusing that more along the ring. I call it the ring, I don't know the appropriate term. The socket, I guess. I'm using it more in the socket of my eye. I'm switching brushes now to the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just going into that socket. I feel like this brush will give me a little bit more precision, and I want that charcoal color to be more defined and contained into one area, so that's why I want this type of brush. Going back into that cool gray shade and going on top of what we just put right in the crease, but just kind of blending it upwards and also kind of just blending it out so it doesn't look so harsh. So this is the fun part. We're going to go into this navy shade in that palette right here, and I'm using a Sigma blending E25 brush, which is a lot like the Morphe M433 brush. It gives you a little bit more precision and in your placement of your shadows. So I'm going to dip into that navy shade, and I'm going to tuck that right into that socket as well, like this. I'm going to bring it all the way into the inner corner, and I'm basically using small back and forth motions for this just to lay down the color that I want. Okay, so now for the fun part. This is the Dose of Colors EyeDeal Duo in the shade Stellar. I do own all of these, and I was just rummaging through them today and saw this one, and I was like, So, what's really cool about these is they come with a primer in the lid. So, the primer actually, should it be called a primer? Yeah, I guess it is. So it comes with the primer in the top of the lid and then a loose pigment in the bottom, and the primer corresponds with the pigment. So the primer is actually the same color as the pigment. So you lay the primer down and it's like a base that's the same color as your pigment. Genius. So freaking genius. So we're going to use a flat shader brush for this. I'm just going to stick my brush into here and, oh, you can't see that. So I'm just going to stick my brush into here like this and just kind of scoop up some of that primer, and I'm going to adjust my mirror so I can see, and I'm going to just lay this down right here on the lid like so. And I'm actually, it looks probably like I'm swiping, but I'm actually pressing the primer into my lid and then working it in a small motion either left or right. I am really working on my descriptive terms, so round of applause for me. So now I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to unscrew this lid like this, and then that's where your pigment is. See? Beautiful. I'm just going to dump some of this pigment out. What I really like about this is I feel like there was a lot of thought put into this packaging, because inside of this, you know how when you have pigments and then you like take that sticky layer off that like holds it in when it's new, you take that off, and then after the powder like sloshes around a little bit, like it's all in the pan everywhere. These are not like that, because this part that screws on top of the pigment has a ledge that essentially lays flat on top of these little sifter holes, and so it doesn't allow like a bunch of product to just slosh out and around. Again, genius. Anyways, you take the other side of my flat shader brush, and I'm literally just picking up the pigment by tapping like this, and it's just kind of hanging on by thread. And then I'm just going to go directly onto the eye like this, and I'm tapping it on, as you can see. That is going to give you the most color payoff. Tap, and you are going to get fallout with this because it is a loose color, so don't be pissed off when you see that. Now I'm just going to go back in, and I'm actually, you'll see me using this sort of a brush. What's this called? A pencil brush? Yeah, pencil brush. Going in with this pencil brush around the edges of that pigment, because I find this to be the most effective when trying to blend out the edges, like right around where that pigment ends. I like for it to look very like diffused and blended, so this comes in handy for that. So you'll see me using that, and essentially I'm just going in with navy and some charcoal, because I find this navy shade to be almost, I mean, it's navy, but for whatever reason sometimes I feel like it can come off a little bit too, what's that color blue that I like? It's cauliflower blue? I don't think that's right. But anyways, so just to make it more navy, sometimes I'll add the charcoal in there. I'm wiping off my fallout. So after I finished this eye, I realized that I didn't think that winged liner would A, show up, or B, be a very good idea. I may pop some lashes on at the end, because I think this would be really pretty with lashes, because I feel like your lashes may get lost in the naviness. But a little secret for all of those watching, I'm going to tight line my upper waterline with this black liner, because what that does is you have your waterline in the upper lid is your skin color, and so when you blacken that, it makes the base of your lashes look thicker. What a face. I am using this, I found this in my collection, Sigma Indigo Bird eyeliner, and that's what's in my waterline on this side. I'm going to just go ahead and do that. Ladies, don't pull on your under eye area. Do not do that. Use a brush like this. I just yanked on my under eye area. So just, this will kind of help to I don't know how. Just take the pencil and line your eyeball. Okay, so for the lower lash line, we're just going into super simple. We're just going back into the lower waterline with the Sigma Indigo Bird eyeliner pencil. And then I'm going in with a flat shader brush, or just one of these flat brushes to do your lower lash line with. Dipping into the Rock Pro Palette 2 into that navy shade that we were using for the lid. And then you're just going to lay that navy shade all along the lower lash line. Then I went in with a e.l.f. brush and I dipped into the charcoal shade and then just kind of ran it right along the base of the shadow at the base, just like that. And that looks really scary. I know, just hold your horses, guys. Then go in with a little blending brush like this and blend. I got mascara on me on this eye. Tip, if you ever get mascara on you, let it dry and then wipe it off, because after it's dry it comes off a lot easier. Less rubbing. Dip into the shade Silver in the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I'm gonna put this silver right at the tear duct to brighten things up. Then we're gonna put some of the lower lash mascara on, then the upper lash mascara. Here is a look at the eyeshadow up close, and then you'll see me applying the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Desert Suede, which is a beautiful cool tone brown shade, which I felt like went very well with this navy eyeshadow. And here is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you click subscribe. That way you don't miss out on more of these types of videos. And for the love of Beyonce, please give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. This will look like I'm put together. Cuckoo. Oh, mister. Hi. No, sir. Today, no. That be giving me a heart attack. See, I feel like that looks real harsh, homegirl. We're just gonna give my camera a minute. Give it a minute. We're gonna give it a minute to focus. I'm just gonna squiggle down here. Gosh, I just really love how smoky this is.